In this episode, we deal with this dangerous situation, attempt to get this huge bull into our crush, and try to dislodge this stubborn stone before helping a cow who can't even bring herself to touch the ground. This is the Hoof GP.
Welcome to the Hoof GP. We are one herd, one family.
Morning. We've got a busy day today. We are trimming around 60 cows. We're not exactly sure, they could be 40, they could be 60, they could be 70. But the point is, we are routine trimming around 60 Montbéliard cattle, the big orange ones that are really strong and feisty. Then after that, we need to nip to my next door neighbour, who has two huge bulls in serious need of our services. Let's hope it goes well. These cups are still available at hoofgp.com, by the way.
When we arrive on farm, there are a lot of cows waiting on our services, so it's not long before we just crack on and get into trimming these beautiful cows' feet and making them as comfortable as we possibly can. Although we're getting on really well, it's not long before this well thought out and well practiced routine is rudely interrupted.
Sometimes it doesn't go too well. Oh, he's supposed to be in this pen here.
This is a precarious situation. The bull is incredibly heavy and those bars are not going to bend. If he falls over completely, he can easily snap a leg, and that would be the end of him.
Try to go and get a longer bar, and then we pull it this way. Does that make sense? He was literally standing in this pen by himself, near nobody, with no reason to jump out. Turn around and that's happened.
Kevin's away looking for a longer bar so that we can pry his leg out from between those two bars. But I'm worried, and time is of the essence. I need to try something as quickly as I possibly can. This may be completely and utterly pointless, but I feel like I'm standing doing nothing anyway, so I might as well try this. I only pray he doesn't kick me in the face as I'm trying to get the rope around his leg. I pulled down and hard, but it's not working. Time for another angle and another approach.
Hey! Come on! And that's how you do that. Just need to get that rope off them. Bulls are so heavy they can easily snap their leg by doing that. Try to put them in that wee pen now. What do you think? Go on, boy. Go on. Go on. Go on. Hopefully that rope will fall off in the next few minutes. It's getting looser and looser all the time. He's not lame, is he? Try to decide if we should try and get him in the crush or not, because obviously he's wound up now and he's had his legs stuck in there. We don't want to hurt him anymore. If he's not lame, might be slightly lame on his front left foot. He's kicking that rope off, look. Silly big boy. At least the rope's off, we don't need to worry about that. Right. Why are we not trimming him then?
Because we don't want to risk him anymore.
Yeah, he's got a slightly sore front foot, but we don't want to risk hurting his back leg or back foot anymore. We think it's more important to let him go, and we'll get him in 2 weeks' time instead. Anyway.
On with one of the most important jobs of the day. Coffee time.
Yep. Right.
There's things in life you simply need to know. Like sun and rain and trust and letting go. It takes a bit of suffering, sleepless nights and wandering before you make it safely to the end. The end.
Luckily for our sanity, the rest of the morning goes pretty much perfectly. We can get on to our second job.
And just like that, we are finished with a little bit more commotion than I was hoping for, to be honest. We trimmed about 67 cows there, and now we're on our way to trim these big bulls, and I'm hoping, I've got my fingers crossed, that things go a little more smoothly. But seriously, I really hope they do. And just like that, we are here. The farmer is away to get the two bulls in. We're going to try and get the crush set up as quickly as possible so that we're not in the way, but also not sitting waiting on the bulls coming in, if that makes sense. Lovely! In case I need the toilet.
And I can feel the sun on my skin. Beginning to thaw from within.
Proper farmer.
Today and not tomorrow. There's no time to borrow. Today is a good day to live.
Can't see anything immediately obvious. Brett said he was fine and then went lame all of a sudden. Oh boy, stop!
Bulls like this big guy in the crush are absolutely colossal and weigh well in excess of a ton or 2,200 pounds. But having said all of that, they can still be incredibly soft when it comes to hurting themselves. My worry with this guy is that it's not his foot that's hurting at all, and that actually it's his leg further up from his foot that is causing him all of the pain and discomfort. Having said all of that though, that outer claw is slightly overgrown, so while he's in the crush, I take every opportunity to hopefully find a problem and prove myself wrong. Unfortunately, a problem is not becoming obvious, so I'm hoping these hoof testers give us a clue.
Bubbles are from the water it's in, not from anything else.
Kev's right, it is soft there, and he appeared to react when I applied pressure. I'm going to carve away parts of this white line and hopefully uncover the source of the issue. Unfortunately, my fear seems to be becoming a reality.
I'm not finding anything.
It would appear that the first reaction was not a reaction at all, and actually just a coincidence that he moved as I applied the pressure. Unfortunately, we can't do anything to help this bull, but the farmer can, and applies a huge dose of anti-inflammatories to help with the pain and promote this big guy's healing. All we can do for him really is cross our fingers and move on to the next cow. Now this cow has an incredibly sore front right foot and actually doesn't even want to touch the ground with it. I'm praying I can do something about it. The problem immediately seems very obvious, but with this one, I make a little bit of a false start. Out of all of the farms that I visit, these cows are probably in the shed least of all, so it just goes to show that cows leading a very natural lifestyle can still become incredibly lame because of the hazards they face just walking around.
See, this cow's got a growth of teloma up in here and it's got dermatitis all over it. we need to space this out as much as possible to give it room to be squished and not catch on the sides of our feet. We will put a block on it, Kevin. A big one actually. Big one. We're going to put a block on here because this is localised to this foot. Only slightly, but it is localised. It's so hard.
There is very clearly a growth for us all to see in between our feet. But believe it or not, that is definitely not the root of our problems, as we're all just about to find out.
Soak the life out of the iodine. We've got a wee wrap on it to try and sink it up a bit, but the wrap will fall. Oh yeah. Excuse my French. Glad I washed it out. It's a stone. And that's been in there a long time. You're alright. Can I get it? I don't know if it could be much blunter, Kev. I can't get it. I'm really struggling to get that out.
I don't want to push my knife in too far, which is why I'm struggling to remove the stone.
What's that? Christ, you'll feel better for that.
You'll need to excuse my French and the chicken noises. I'm just really frustrated that something can cause this cow so much pain so easily. The area is clearly inflamed because of raging infection, which is why we're using this antibiotical spray that the farmer has given us. It should help to reduce the swelling and fight infection, and hopefully put this cow on the road to recovery. But this is an incredibly sore problem.
So this next bull's shoulders are so wide and muscular that he won't fit up the race properly, so we're actually putting him through the pen with the little lambs and back up this way. So pray for us.
These bulls trim down and lose a lot of weight over the breeding season because of the amount of calories they're burning. Right now though, he is in full form, and he is an absolute tank.
So we've decided he's too wide to fit up the crush. We're going to move this one. After all this is where I end up missing him probably. Here we go.
This potentially could be a risky situation. We're not using a race because he can't fit. We're at the mercy of whatever he decides to do.
Really struggling, and obviously we failed to get a bull in a couple of weeks ago. Praying that doesn't happen again.
Finally, he decides to go, and I do catch him. All that remains now is to get him up in the air once he's settled down so that we can look at that back right foot and hopefully make a difference.
Where are you pointing here? To the hole. I know, we're okay. I thought we had a problem right now. Get a big rock, please, Kev.
I'm regularly asked if I treat bulls' feet any differently to cows' feet, and the short and simple answer is no. But in reality, there are very small differences. A bull's foot is obviously slightly larger than a cow's foot, but also a bull is incredibly heavy compared to a cow, so we need to leave as much of the hoof horn intact and in position as we possibly can, so that his weight can be spread over a larger area. This big bull was incredibly lame around a week ago when the farmer treated him at first with antibiotics and anti-inflammatories. That has worked absolute wonders, but in its wake it has left a double soul, a place that dirt and debris can collect. It can congregate and begin to form even greater problems, which is why even though the bull is starting to walk slightly better, it is absolutely crucial to his full recovery that we remove these detached layers of hoof horn. It's just like peeling an onion. The only trick is knowing when to stop.
You treated him with Oxycom too? Or something. He'll have had an infection and that will clear it up. That's why this is a double sole and not just swollen inside.
Right, so effectively the double sole comes off before you...
Exactly. But then that double sole needs removed, otherwise it just fills up with muck and stones and... Okay.
He's starting to raise his voice and protest. This isn't hurting him. It will be slightly uncomfortable, but he's more frustrated at the fact that he's being restrained in my crush right now. I wish he knew it were the lesser of two evils. With trims like this, the very real temptation is to say mission complete, we've taken enough away. It's sore on your arms, it's tedious, but we need to remove all of this detached hoof horn if we are to do our job properly.
Yes and no. So yes, it would, but it'd be getting worse underneath it at the same time. Does that make sense? So yeah, that would. I like see how soft. So that just needs a month, and that'll thicken up by 5 or 6 millimeters, and then you're fine, kind of thing.
It's been a very long but a very productive day here in southwest Scotland for us, trimming these beautiful creatures and working with the wonderful people who live around us. But for us and for this big bull, it's time for us to say goodbye and head on home.